I've never been one to shy away from an invitation to do something extreme. I am Jayme Linker, an extreme endurance athlete, a world record holder, and I have done everything from rock climbing to rescue diving to professionally rowing the ocean, martial arts, anything outdoors, you name it, that's my thing. What started as OCR Spartan racing now has become some of the world's hardest events. I am a Colorado native and I absolutely love it. I am in the mountains most of the time. However, I was raised on the farm grounds up in northeastern Colorado in Hill Rose brush area. Life out there is very rural. We had 5,000 people, so everyone knew who you were. Growing up was always a challenge for me. I was born with debilitating asthma, and I had about 67% lung capacity. We also had some issues where I was 9, 10, where we had to start changing my food because it would start affecting me, and I would have to leave school every day at noon after lunch with these terrible stomach pains, and no one knew why. The fear of food is real. My older sister, Lauren, she, obviously being older, went through puberty first, but as soon as I found out about this awesome revelation about what happens to humans, I was like, that's not going to be me. And I developed an irrational fear. So I did everything in my power to control my weight so I didn't have those effects of growing up, essentially. Once you start on that track, your brain starts changing and I'll just have a little bit less and then I'll get to that weight and be fine. And it was not sustainable. And it really started a very negative downward spiral.
I'm a nurse, so injuries, illnesses, I'm fine with fixing broken bones and things that can be managed. This was something that nobody understood.
My vitals started plummeting, which ultimately landed me in the hospital. Once I was at the hospital, they had diagnosed me with anorexia, which is an eating disorder. I didn't know anything about it, really. I was shocked, scared, didn't believe it, because I'm like, I'm fine. And it obviously was not fine. The worst that it ever got was hospital visit number 3. I got down to 67 pounds at the age of 19. They had to override every system in the hospital to make my room hot enough because I was suffering from hypothermia. Everything on me was concave. I was pretty much bones and skin.
Every second of every day that, had a hold of her. And you'd never know if she was going to live or not. I mean, you didn't know if she was going to make it through that moment.
It was the most helpless feeling I have ever had as a parent.
Most people either die or you get better with an eating disorder. There's usually no in between. So the biggest choice that I have to make every day, it's that I have to eat every day. So I have to be very diligent to choose what I eat and then be mindful on top of that every single day. It changed my life.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Like walking barefoot up a gravel road. The pain gon' make you unstoppable. Now audible. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red carpets when we arrive. I'll be in charge of my own fate.
She started with small things and it just kept building and building and building, and she would do, Spartan races.
Which seems to me like it's human cruelty.
Then it was a 12-hour race, then a 24-hour race, then a 60-hour.
I've never rowed before. I've never even seen one of these boats. Never even saw one in person. Someone brings me an opportunity, I'm not going to tell them no. I'm like, yeah, what do we need to do? Let's make it happen. So it was brought to me and Of course, like, I don't care if I've never rowed an ocean before, I'll figure it out.
Most people who come to this challenge are not rowers. They haven't rowed before, they've not been at sea. They're just looking for a challenge.
We got a call from this crazy lady. First time we saw Jayme, man, we were surprised. Not only did she keep up, she actually put the pedal to the metal and made us work hard out there.
She's just someone who is full of energy and just doesn't stop.
You don't know how to take on a 30-foot wave. You don't know how to row in the middle of the night when you get a rogue wave that wants to knock you over. One person rows while the other person sleeps. You've got, 3,000 miles to try and figure it out. You've got to work through the blisters and the pain to get enough calluses on your hands. And you have to do all this when you have no sleep and you are rowing, a minimum of 12 hours a day. Those are the challenges that you're facing to make your body continue to push day in, day out to get across from start to finish and do it successfully. One of the hardest things to do with someone who's an eating disorder is to be able to trust your food. I need to know what fuel goes in my body. I need to know how it's working, how it's digesting, when to eat it so I can be at maximum capacity and efficiency. And that's only by being able to rely on the products that I am putting into my body. But not only that, by struggling with an eating disorder, I can't just trust any food out there. Before I found Nutristore, I struggled to be able to participate in several races because you have to have so many caloric requirements in order to do a lot of the races that I do these days, on top of the type of food you have to take. And I would always have to send something in to the race directors like, hey, I can't eat your required food. You're gonna have to make provisions. However, that's not always the case and it's not always allowed, especially getting into rowing oceans. It was very hard being someone who has to make their own food, where the race has never had someone who's had to make their own food before. Is she actually prepared to do this race? So I reached out to Nutristore and asked them if they would be willing to do something. 100%, I would not have been able to do that race if it wasn't for them. They provide these 100% pure products that don't have anything else in them. So if you want chicken, you're getting chicken. You're not getting any additives, you're not getting any preservatives, and I can trust their food. And it's so imperative to be able to, not even having an eating disorder, but be able to rely on the nutrients that you're getting in order to compete at the level that I do. I know 100% what's in my meal. I can trust 100% what's in my meal. I love Nutristore. Like, I don't know if you want to put that in there, but I love them, so. I only have 37% lung capacity. I've struggled with an eating disorder for almost 24 years of my life. I've had 3 heart attacks. I have a stomach disorder that makes it so I can't eat a lot of food. I have had so many things that are just constantly fighting against me, and everyone always underestimates me because of these limitations that are set upon me. However, that's what lights the fire within me, and that's what forces me to prove everyone wrong.
It's what leads up to the row that gets you to the starting line, has made that rower's character.
I don't think I could have done it. I'm pretty confident to say if I had faced her challenges, I wouldn't have made it.
You never give up. And this is what I learned about Jayme. He never gives up.
She has become very completely motivated and stronger, not just physically, but mentally than we ever anticipated.
She's going to do stuff is unimaginable to me. But just keep doing it. That's what makes her go.
I am living proof that you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it. It didn't happen overnight. I didn't just wake up and miraculously I could manage my eating disorder. No, it took 24 years to be able to go out and row in some of the world's hardest events. It is in those moments, in your everyday moments, when you make the hard decisions in life. Like, it's not easy for me to wake up every morning at 4 a.m. It's not easy for me to have sacrifices where I don't get to go see my family or don't get to go hang out with people because I need to go to the gym, or I'm not here for months at a time because I'm on a race. I want to be that vessel of positivity for anybody that needs help, needs that motivation, needs that shoulder of someone just be like, hey, they can do it, I can do it, or just that comfort. I want to be that person for other people. And that's what I believe my life is for.